All right, today we are going to be replacing the engine air filters on this 2020 Kia K900. I wasn't able to find a YouTube video for this model year, and it looks like they made some changes from the previous generation, so I wanted to put this out there for those of you that want to do it yourself. It's a little more complicated than a standard vehicle because they have these supports that are going over both of the air boxes. They're not that important structurally, so it's not a big deal taking it off. From what I read, it's just to support the front grille. So to start, we're going to need our two air filters that we purchased online. Our tools are going to be a 12mm socket and a Phillips and flathead screwdriver. So the first thing we need to do is remove this bar that's going across the top of the air box. It's a 12mm socket, so we're going to go ahead and take that off. It shouldn't be anything you need power tools for. Okay, once we've removed both bolts and the bar, now we need to remove this plastic molding that's going around. We found that these four plastic rivets here, 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 and here are the ones that we need to remove it to allow us to get the plastic molding bent up just enough to access the airbox. We don't have a special tool for popping these rivets, so we're just using a flathead screwdriver. Go ahead and do that top one. So we found that if you just kind of angle it in the low spot, then you can pop it up and then just remove it with your hands pretty easily. And they go back in just as easily. And we're going to remove all four. Now that we have those four rivets removed, we can raise the plastic piece. Go ahead and pull it up from the top. Yep. Okay, now we're going to be looking at four clips. There's going to be one on each corner of the airbox there, and the fourth one's back here. Go ahead and pop those clips off. All right, and now lastly, our airbox is still connected to the air intake pipe, so we're going to use a Phillips screwdriver to go ahead and loosen that collar. It's possible that you don't need to do this step. You could potentially lift the top of the airbox off while it's still attached, but we like to just remove it completely. All right, once we've loosened that metal collar, we can go ahead and wiggle the hose off, or wiggle the pipe off, excuse me, off of that airbox. Let's go back and forth. Here, you pull on that part.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was right there.
A little snug. Doesn't come off too often. Okay, so now lifting the plastic trim, we can go ahead and remove the top of the airbox. You have to lift the trim. Yep. Pull up and out. There we go. All right, so now it's off. Now this vehicle does have two, one on each side. We already did the other one. So when you purchase them, make sure you're getting both parts, and they're opposite parts. It's not the same part because of the shape. So go ahead and grab that bad boy out. Okay, and then we'll go grab our new one. Not too bad. Our new part here, just a pretty generic one we bought off of Amazon. So we'll go ahead and unbox that. Just rip it. All right, and then we have to remember that the filter side that protrudes goes down into it. Yep, that side's down, and we have to be cognizant of the shape. And it's a nice snug fit. So see here how it's flipped up a little bit? We don't want that to happen. So, we want to try to line it up neatly. So it's a snug fit, but we do have the new one installed now. Like I said, it's kind of a snug fit around the edges, so you want to make sure it doesn't get flipped up. So now we're going to put the top of our airbox back on. I'll lift this plastic piece out of the way. We're going to be mindful to line up our clips. We'll worry about attaching the hose afterwards. We're just kind of focused on getting it seated. There we go. And getting those clips put back on. And they can be a bit snug. Okay, so we've got all four clips reinstalled, and now we're going to reconnect this hose, tighten that up. We're going to put our plastic rivets back in and then reattach that crossbar. While he's doing that, what we figured out as well is with these plastic rivets, if they get pushed into this locked position, they're too big at the bottom. They're not going to fit back in the hole. So if that happens, you just have to pop them loose again with your flathead screwdriver to allow them to get back in. We've got our intake air pipe reconnected and tightened up. We're going to be putting our plastic rivets back in. And last thing is this. All right, and that's the last step. We've got our bar tightened back on. We've now done both sides, and we're ready for the next one.